Operation Status Quo. Operation Status Quo. Prepare to engage. Operation Status Quo. Ready to engage. Operation Status Quo. Engaged. Engaged. Yes, indeed, engaged once again, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. Happy Monday to you. It's Monday, the 10th of April in the good year 2023. I always want, I was ready to say 2022 again. I don't know why I keep wanting to say 2022 all the time. 2022 was basically a horrible year, wasn't it, in a sense, compared to, I guess people would say 2020 was pretty bad overall, but I don't know. 2022 seemed not the best overall, and now 2023 is it's going pretty good overall, I would say. As far as if you're in tune with stuff and watching all the calamities unfold, as it were, we're in pretty good shape and on target to hopefully start living our lives again by about 2035, somewhere around there. We'll be back on track, be able to enjoy a day in the life of life again. Heyo. I'm just kidding around, obviously, because I always do say here on Operation Status Quo. By the way, welcome. This is Operation Status Quo, a space where we observe the status quo and then we learn to flow with the quo, because it's as simple as that. All we have to do is flow with the quo, and life is pretty easy, So, because you can't change what's going on out there, but you can change your perception of it. So that's about, the best we can do. And honestly, that's all you have to do, because that's the most important thing to do. Everything in this world is basically your perception of it anyway, and what frequencies you decide to vibrate in conjunction with are the manifestations of which are what you're going to have in your life. So just remember that it's always up to you, and you have all that power and control. So I got to tell you, this today, I wasn't sure if I was going to make it, because I don't know what it is about today. I know yesterday was some people celebrate this Easter thing. It's not for me. So, honestly, even growing up, Easter was never one of my favorite holidays. I don't know why. It just didn't seem like, maybe because you don't get a day off or anything. I don't know. It just didn't seem like anything that ever jived with me. It's like, I don't like to be bothered on a Sunday as it is, and then you have Easter Sunday, which is like the biggest Sunday that you're going to be bothered by everybody. But one of the beautiful things about me moving to Florida and everything, it's wonderful, actually, because now that I don't have my immediate family nearby, no one bothers me for anything, which is absolutely, before I would have to probably go over for dinner or something, make some sort of appearance, so somebody's feelings don't get hurt or some nonsense. But here, I'm 1,000 miles away. I'm safe. I love my family, but seriously, So anyway, feeling a little, got to be honest with you, a little, I don't know. I feel like I could sleep like all day today is like what's in my mind. But, you are the people. I'm a man of the people. I love my people, and we're all people. So, I want to be here for you. So we're going to ease into this week after the holiday and do another rendition of Just the Facts, Ma'am. So this is Just the Facts, Ma'am, Part 2. We did Part 1. For those that missed Part 1, you can go back and find it. It's in the it's one of the videos in there. Basically, I have a nice long list of some fun facts. And, from time to time, we'll, get off of all the heavier stuff. And, to me, the way I speak, it's never really heavy anyway. It's like, it is heavy stuff in a sense of like, what's going on in the world. But, again, this is a place of love and joy and togetherness and positive vibes. So no matter how it comes across, if I'm saying the things that are blatantly in our face, even if they seem negative, it's not really negative. It's just, like I said, this is observation status quo. So operation status quo, rather. And we're observing, the status quo. So it's as simple as that. This program is merely an observation, a focal point, one observation through which the universe expresses itself, right? So that's what we're doing. So anyway, today we're going to do some fun facts, not fun facts, but just the facts, ma'am. and have a little fun here today. If you're out there and you're with me live, please feel free to drop some comments in the chat and let me know what's going on and what you're thinking out there. And don't forget, as I always say, that this place is, of love, togetherness, joy. It's a place where I want you to feel comfortable to express yourself and whatever gifts or talents or skills or whatever you may have that you would like to share with the world. I mean, this is the place to do it. Believe me, this is the place to do it because I'm that kind of guy. I'm that kind of guy. I really like everybody and want people to express themselves. You see, I have no problems expressing myself. So come on and be part of this show, and you can express yourself as well. You can come on and do a whole tirade of how you don't like what I do. That would be great. We'll call it like the Operation Status Quo episode. But seriously, either way, if you're a little bit shy or you have no talents and skills, which is not true. We all have talents and skills. So I'm just saying that in a funny way a little bit. But, for some reason you're not into that aspect of it, of course, you can just merely subscribe to the channel, which would be greatly appreciated. You can share it out to others and, drop comments and all that kind of stuff. All right, so here we are. I'm with you. Let's get started. Where's my let me ring the bell. Attentiones. Let's do it, people. All right, so we have some fun facts today. I keep saying fun facts, but it's just the facts, ma'am. I mean, because they are fun facts, because they're just facts. Maybe they're not fun. I don't even know that, right? I'm automatically assuming that these are fun facts. How do I know that you find these facts fun? But let's see what facts are out there today that you might be interested in. Now, speaking of Easter, because we just passed Easter, the first one on our list today is the heads on Easter Island have bodies, which I guess doesn't sound like to be too far of a stretch, because most heads technically tend to have bodies. As long as I've had a head, I've had a body, and vice versa. So it seems like they kind of go together. But the iconic stone heads protruding from the ground on Easter Island are familiar to most, but many do not realize what lies beneath the surface. It was back in the tens. I don't know if that's the 2010s or if it was the tens, because it doesn't really specify here, but the tens, probably the 1910s, right? Archaeologists say that 6 times fast while you're having a stroke. Anyway, studying the hundreds of stone statues on the Pacific Island. I almost said specific island. It was a specific island in the Pacific. A Pacific island. They excavated. I guess we're going pretty bad already. It's like 3 words. All right. Anyway, excavated 2 of the figures, and it turned out that they had full torsos underneath the ground when they did the excavation, and they were as high as 33 feet. So when you see those heads protruding out of the ground, just know that their bodies, those poor bodies, are trapped underneath the ground. And maybe we probably should start, if they found this out back in the tens, have we not dug them all up by now and given them their freedom? Do we leave them trapped and buried and unable to move in the ground like that? I don't think that's nice. I think that these are stone. They're stone figures, but at the same time, don't stone figures have rights too? Just like everybody else in our world today. Maybe we should start a movement, the stone movement, for people who are made of stone, because they deserve the same rights as the rest of us do. You wouldn't like it if you were buried in the ground, right? So anyway, well, you will be maybe one day, unless you get cremated. Anyway, how about this? The moon has moonquakes. Now, I don't know about this because, there's a lot of discussion. You have to go back and forth on this one, whether you believe in we're actually in space or the flat earth thing. Some people say the moon is actually just plasma and it's not even actually a solid surface. So, that's something to consider too. But according to this, there are moonquakes on the moon. And just as Earth has earthquakes, the moon has, you guessed it, moonquakes, less common and less intense than shakes that happen here. Moonquakes are believed by U.S. Geological Survey scientists to occur to tidal stresses connected to the distance between the Earth and the moon. And I would like to know how they know that there's moonquakes. If you don't believe, first of all, there's a whole nother theory about there's already bases on the moon and people have been on the moon for generations and years and all this kind of stuff. So how do we know? How do you know there's a moonquake unless you're on the moon to measure a moonquake, right? That's what I'm trying to say. These scientists, I love when they come up and say all this stuff. They just throw crap out there. There's moonquakes, So, okay, well, how'd you discover there are moonquakes, But anyway, that's a whole nother story. If you are a normal, person that believes the normal world, then you will believe that there is a moonquake. And I guess don't go on the moon if you don't like earthquakes, because you're going to have a moonquake, although they say moonquakes are less intense. I don't know why I'm still talking about this. Here we go. The next one, goosebumps are meant to ward off predators. So how about this, okay? Why do we get goosebumps? Well, in this physiological reaction, small muscles attached to the individual body hairs contract, which leads the hairs to stand on end. We inherited this ability from our ancestors, in part as a way of our then coat of body hair to capture air beneath it, and in that way to retain heat. But also, it is said that it was done by our ancestors so that we would appear bigger. All your hairs stand up, and it makes you look thicker and bigger, and it would scare off predators. Kind of like what the cats do. When a cat gets scared and its tail gets all puffed out, or even with the porcupine, right? Their quills, everything puffs out, and the puff, doesn't it got one of those blowfish or the puff fish? What the hell's that fish called that puffs up like 5 times its size? So that's what our goosebumps are for. Now, granted, we get a chill once in a while. So, I guess the goosebumps, but, has multiple uses. In today's world, unfortunately, most of us are scaping, whether it be manscaping or womanscaping or somewhere in between scaping, whatever scape you do, we have scaped so much that we no longer have enough hair to ward off the predators, right? So, everybody's shaved down. So basically, if a predator was to attack, you get the goosebumps and you're waiting to puff up like a porcupine or something, but instead nothing happens because you wanted to look good on the beach, so you shaved yourself bald. So now you're going to have to be eaten by a predator. So just keep that in mind. That's why, the world was tough back in the 70s when all those people had hair blasting out all over the place, right? Okay, how about this? There's no such thing as pear cider. So now I don't know how many of you may or may not have thought you had pear cider. I don't know how many of you may or may not try to imbibe pear cider or thought it was pear cider, but apparently there is no pear cider. And it says, well, you're probably thinking, I had pear cider last week. Personally, I've never had pear cider. I'm not much of a cider person. But anyway, actually, cider is an alcoholic beverage made from fermented apples and only apples. Alcoholic beverages can be made from pears, but that drink is known as perry. That's Perry, in case you're taking notes at home. The drink was popular in England for centuries, but fell out of favor during the second half of the 20th century. That turned around in the 1990s when the drink was rebranded as pear cider. So really, if you think you're drinking pear cider, you're not. You're drinking something called perry. Does it really matter? I don't know if it's alcoholic. It probably doesn't matter anyway. You just want some sort of booze in your system so you can forget your life. I understand. Okay, pineapple works as a natural meat tenderizer. Now that's nice, right? It's nice to know if you're grilling, maybe you want to that's why they put a little piece of pineapple on top sometimes when they're, cooking something. The fruit is packed with enzymes, which break down protein chains, making it an ideal marinade for meats when you don't have a lot of time. But for the same reason, pineapple does not work for jams or jellies, since the enzyme breaks down gelatin as well. So anyway, it's strong. The pineapple processors have to wear protective gloves. Otherwise, over time, enzymes eat away at the skin on their face and hands, leaving dry and small sores. So please, for God's sake, people, do not rub pineapple all over your body. And I know some people like to use the cucumbers like on their face, if they're doing something to their face, with the cucumbers over the eyes. You ever see that with the cucumbers like on the forehead or something for the wrinkles? But do not do this with pineapples. Here's the thing, actually, it's making me think. Say you live with somebody, like a spouse or whatever. Maybe you got a kid. Let's put it this way: you got a kid that won't move out, right? You're tired of it. This kid, he's 50. He's 50, for God's sake, living in the garage, mooching off of you, smoking pot all day. So when he goes to sleep at night, you go in and you put pineapple like all over his face, and then you know what happens? And give it a day or two, and that kid's face it's eaten away. He's so upset and distraught. How come my parents even do this to me? And maybe he thinks to go out and do something on his own in his own life. All right. I don't know. Just stuff to think about, because there's so many uses for everything that we have in this world, and knowing that pineapple is a natural meat tenderizer, you can tenderize your fellow human being, basically. You could just cover them in pineapple and just wait for the magic to happen. All right, here we go. Humans are the only animals that blush. So we are believed. Now we are also believed to be the only animal that feels embarrassment, a complicated emotion requiring understanding others' opinions and other factors. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're the only one. It's a complicated emotion, embarrassment. It's basically when you're like, dehumanized or, made fun of, and maybe you try to, you want to show something that you're proud of and everybody laughs at you. It's a very complicated emotion. It's not very complicated. It's called frickin' mental torture. That's what it is. Mental torture. Then you become embarrassed. It's like, I really thought my fellow man liked me. I really enjoyed company of my fellow man. And now I realize they just want to laugh at me. Heyo. So, I mean, we are also the only animal that blushes. Now, we can test this. Maybe if you guys want to do a little research for me, pay attention to if you have a dog or a cat, see if it ever blushes. Maybe a pig, a pig's got that kind of reddish, whatever, that pinkish skin. Maybe they blush a little bit. Now, I would think a dolphin could blush, right? Because a dolphin, is like is smart, if not smarter than humans. So they must know well enough to feel embarrassment and shame as well. That's right. All right, here we go. We got a few more. The feeling of getting lost inside a mall is known as Gruen transfer. That's Gruen. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but Gruen transfer. An intentionally confusing layout could lead to consumers spending more time and money in a shopping venue. I mean, honestly, you see how horrible that is. I mean, it's just really not a nice way to go about it, as far as treating people that way, and manipulating them into shopping and buying more stuff. I hope you guys are still seeing me out there, because I see my stream seems to be missing. So if you're there, type something in there and let me know that you're still there and that I'm still there. So it seems like it should be fine. So I don't know why YouTube is spinning like this. I got the green and we're going, but I'm going to keep going. What they really should do in this situation, I feel, is why make it like, a confusing layout, just like, people go in and, let them know that they're not allowed to leave for like, an hour or something, like maybe just like lock all the doors behind them and just let it go. Just lock all the doors behind them and say, that's it. You can't. Remember like in the movie Bronx Tale, the guys come in, the motorcycle gang, they want to have a, whatchamacallit, they want to have a beer, but they don't trust them and do. And they say, okay, no problem. One beer. Then they start trying to mess up the place. And what do they say? Now yous can't leave. Now you can't leave. And I just think it should be the same type of thing. You go to the mall and you just basically know that, you're going to, if you're going to go in there, you're going to have to purchase, maybe just make it a thing. You got to purchase like a couple $100 worth of stuff, and then you're allowed to leave. And however long it takes you to spend that money is how long you have to stay. But they lock the door behind you. I'd rather they be honest and do that. We're going to lock the door behind you, and until you spend X amount of dollars, you can't leave. I'd rather they do that and then intentionally trying to trick you. They build these stores, they build these casinos, they build everything to mess with your mind so that you just spend all your money and you're lost in space somewhere. Hey, I see I got a person out there live that's watching. Did the stream disappear? Can you tell me in the chat if the stream disappeared while I was talking? Because I did notice that there was a connectivity issue. So anyway, that happens. That's what you do. That's the chances that you take when you go live here. And that's what we do on Operation Status Quo. We go live because it's all about you, the people, and me reaching you, the people. But of course, if the stream shuts down, that makes it hard to do, right? Okay. Anyway, we have a couple more for 18. It's two more after this one. Let's see. The wood frog can hold its pee for up to 8 months. Can you imagine that? That would be just fantastic if I can hold my pee for 8 months. I like to hold my pee like through a night and not have to get out of bed and go take a leak. That's my problem because I drink too much water. But at the same time, it would be nice if... here we go. Rob. Hey, Rob, I noticed that you commented when I was on a couple days ago when I was doing the interview with Colleen St. Michael's, and I noticed that I didn't get a chance to respond because I was in the midst of concentrating on speaking with her. But I wanted to thank you for taking the time to comment last time, and thank you for coming back, especially from the ROTC crew. It's like they treated me with such kindness. Actually, I'll be honest, Rob, I don't know if you talked to those guys or not, but I like those guys. Even Mike, like he's such a curmudgeon, but I can tell the guy. If I I could talk to Mike, I would tell him that, this guy would have been the perfect like radio DJ guy back in the 70s. He was like a perfect radio guy back when terrestrial radio was really good. He would have been a superstar back then. So Rob, let Mike know that I love him, and those guys, they're a trip, and I appreciate what they did. Actually, for those, this is real quick. When I first started my channel, I was doing. Now I just kind of more talk, but there's other stuff that I like to do. Some of my characters and voices and different things, and of course, I understand that I'm not understood. So, but they had seen a clip of one of my shows, and did an episode on their show, which I'm appreciative of because it brought people like this wonderful gentleman Rob to me here. And they were basically busting my balls for how bad it was, but that's okay because it's meant to be. I don't take myself seriously. I'm just kind of having fun and doing stuff that comes from my heart. So it's not about being perfect or being the best. And I still like to work with those guys. So if you got an in, Rob, let them know that I'm still out here, and let them know if they want to come on Operation Status Quo. I'd love to have them on and thank them and let them express and share their channel and with the stuff that they do. They are ROTC, Revenge of the Cis. You can look them up on YouTube, and they do some fun stuff. I like when what's his name does the I don't know if they still do that, call the tarot card reader people, and they just start bombing their chat with all kinds of crap. Some of it's pretty funny, I have to say. What's it say? Rob says, yeah, dude, I really like your stuff. Some of your reviews remind me of the quantum of consciousness asses with reality. I don't know if I'm excuse me, I don't know if I'm understanding what you're saying exactly. I really like your stuff. Some of your reviews remind me of the quantum of conscious asses with reality. I'm not sure if I know who the quantum of conscious asses are, but anyway, I do appreciate you being here, and I would love for you, if you're open to it, to share this out with other people. And I just like to talk. And Rob, if you ever want to be on and come on the show and have a conversation, you're more than welcome, because that's exactly the main thing I really want to do here, is have more people on. Less of me and more of you would make a better show for the whole world, people. For the whole world. Hey-o. It's a small world after all. So the wood frog, by the way, can hold its pee up to 8 months, which is nice. Again, I've come up with this. I have an idea. If maybe somebody's an inventor out there, we can do a patent or something. What I really like to do is create a mattress that you could pee into, like overnight, or some sort of apparatus on the side of the bed. That I know it might be a little easier for men with the protruding genitalia as opposed to the females with the internal genitalia. But something like some sort of hole in the mattress, like I always say, maybe you could create your own water bed out of it. It starts out kind of flat, and after a couple months, you have a nice fluffy water bed. I don't know. I just think these are the things I think of. You know what I mean? These are the things I think of. All right, the hottest spot on the planet is in Libya. Where is it? It's in Libya, where the temperature reaches 100. It's El Azia. I don't know. I'm not going to be able to say this word. ELAZIZIA. So then in Libya, it reaches 136 degrees on the Fahrenheit side. Well, I would think so, because if it was Celsius, you would just probably, we'd all burn off the planet. We'd just evaporate. But while hotter spots are likely occurred in other parts of the planet at other times, this is the most scorching temperature ever formerly recorded by a weather station. So there you go. So if you're looking for a little summer fun, some nice sand, you're not going to get too much of the beach, but you get the nice sand. You go over to Libya and you just lay out 136 degrees, probably take you about 5 minutes to get complete sun poisoning. You'll get the tan, the sun poisoning, everything all in one shot, and you'll be in good shape. All right, let's do one more today here on Operation Status Quo of Just the Facts, ma'am. You lose up to 30% of your taste buds during a flight. And I've noticed that I'm flying in the air and just minding my own business, and all of a sudden taste buds, they just start falling out of my mouth, and they're rolling around on the floor, and I'm like, somebody help me get my taste buds. I can't stand it. Where are my taste buds, please? What is this? Oh, there we go. I didn't know what sound effect I pressed. There it goes. It took a few seconds for it. Thank you. Sorry. But anyway, when you're, this might explain why airplane food gets such a bad reputation. Actually, I don't think that would be true at all. More so, it should get a better reputation because if you can't taste it, you know what I mean? You can't say how bad. If people think airline food sucks that bad and you've lost 30% of your taste buds while you're in the flight, that just shows you how bad the food really is, right? I mean, it's even worse than you thought. It's even worse than you thought. Let's see here. So the elevation in an airplane can have a detrimental effect on our ability to taste things, according to a 2010 study conducted by Germans. Blah 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 blah. This or whatever. The dryness experience at high elevations as well as low pressure reduces the sensitivity of the taste buds to sweet and salty food by 30%. And you add that dry cabin air affects our ability to smell, and our ability to taste is reduced even further. So there you go. So, maybe this is a good thing. Like if maybe you're a little bit on the plump side and you're trying to find a good diet program, I would just say, put yourself up in a plane for, a month, just fly around the world for like a month, and you won't want to eat because everything will taste like shit. So I think I just solved another problem for the world out there. We're all working together to try to solve problems. So, all right. Hey, listen, ladies and gentlemen, you guys know I love you out there, and that's why I'm here. And, or maybe it's not that I love you that I'm here. Maybe it's that I love myself so little that I'm here. Maybe that's what it is. No, wait, I got to go over here. I got to hit the applause for that. I'm sorry. I am sorry. Everybody is sorry. Are you having a happy Monday? Are you feeling good out there? Don't forget, the world is in the midst of monumental changes, ladies and gentlemen. We're all here together. We're all here together to go through this beautiful experience of growth and expansion and love and light, and let's just it doesn't have to be all that heavy either, but let's just love. We don't have to be that fluffy either is what I mean too, it doesn't, we're all human and it is what it is, but let's be nice to each other and, let's create the space. This is Operation Status Quo. I'm Pete Palma. This is where we observe the status quo and we flow with the quo. And sometimes we have to create our own quo because that quo that they're trying to get us to flow with, oh no, we ain't flowing with that quo, yo. We ain't flowing with that quo, yo. Rob, what are you doing out there? Did you get on the phone with ROTC? I'm just playing, seriously. All right, that's enough of that. Stop it. Okay. Listen, I got more great stuff coming up for you this week. Believe it or not, I feel like I could fall asleep right now. So I hope that didn't come across too much in the show. I do have a high energy level, so I generally tend to resonate fairly well, even when I'm kind of like lethargic in my brain. Don't forget to please like, subscribe, and share. Send this out to your family, your friends, those you love, and most importantly, those you despise, because here on Operation Status Quo, we say those are the people that need the most help of all. I love each and every one of you individually as well as a group. Don't forget, this place is a place for you. It's not just for me, it's me, I guess, but it's for you. So I would love for you to be part of it. I would love for you to share your talents, your skills. Maybe you know somebody that has talents and skills that they would like to share. Whatever, let's just build the community. Let's just get things going. And this station, this channel, I'm not monetized. I'm not asking for anything. It's just about, building a community and just, being buddies. Let's be buddies. Let's be buddies. All of us. We can be buddies, can't we? Can't we be buddies? Rob, let's say they don't need my comments, but I'll throw a shout out anyway. Oh, they don't read my comments, but I'll throw a shout out anyway. Well, Rob, if they're not reading your comments already, and then you throw a shout out with my name in it, I don't know, that might put you further down the list. But if you're willing to do it, I really appreciate it, and I think it would be great. And I don't think they would want to talk to me really, but I'm open to talk to them. And and one day when my show surpasses their show, then maybe they'll want to talk to me. If not, if my show never surpasses, then I guess it won't be. Let me say this too quickly, that I always say this, I'm not looking to be the best, a superstar. I don't need my face on billboards. I don't need any of that kind of crap. Quite honestly, it's a much simpler life to be secluded and left alone. But I do put myself out there because, this is how God made me, and this is what comes out of me, and this is what I'm kind of meant to do. So this is what I do. As crazy or as senseless as it seems, that is what I do and what I'm meant to do. So anyway, I'm going to let it go here. Rob, thank you so much for being here with me today and the rest of my viewership. I see we had some people on here today, so that's excellent. And I coming on most days, so just click the notification. I can't say it's always going to be the same time. It just really depends on what's happening during the day a little bit, but I'm making every effort possible to do a good 5 days a week here and trying to vary the content and such to keep you entertained and just create a space for you to chill out live. It's cool with YouTube and stuff the way things are nowadays, where I watch a lot of it, and not a lot of the people I watch I don't see live a lot of times, but I go back and watch their stuff. But I think it's just really cool to have you too, Rob. Take care. Thanks, buddy. I think it's really cool to have a space where you can come on live and just chat, just like I'm just doing with Rob here today. And it's pretty neat the way our technology and stuff allows us. And that's what we got to do. We got to connect in those us like-minded people, and we can support each other and let each other know that we don't have to be afraid or anything about what's going on in the world. We just have to be true to ourselves and find stillness and peace in our hearts, and everything will work out fine for everybody. All right. So anyway, that is that. Thank you guys so much for being here. God bless each and every one of you. Have a great day. Operation Status Quo disengaged.
Is a boulevard of 10 short blocks.